How are you folks doing today?
Hello.
Great. How are you?
It's my birthday. I'm so happy to be here talking to
Oh,
cool
happy
people. The only thing I wanted was to
birthday!
talk to my friends over at The Legend of Vox Machina, and my wish came
Hey!
true. Season 3, I can't believe we're here. It's a crazy achievement. 50 years of D&D, 10 years of Critical Role next year, and 3 seasons of The Legend of Vox Machina. It is a great time to be alive for TTRPG fans, especially fans of Critical Role and The Legend of Vox Machina. But Travis, I need to start with you because I have a question. You said something to Entertainment Weekly earlier this year. You said season 3 is going to leave a mark. And I would like to quote you something from the February 26, 1959 edition of the Amarillo Globe-Times, a newspaper I'm sure you've read, in which Charles Eade said, and I quote, "Hurt people, hurt people." So Travis, why are you and the team trying to hurt us with season 3?
What an amazing poll. Listen, if we don't hurt you, along with making you laugh, then how are you going to remember us? And like a good spicy dish, it's going to make you want to come back for more, for seconds. I mean, the beauty of LVM for me, for Legend of Vox Machina, I'm over here using abbreviations, is that much like our game, we make each other laugh and then make each other cry. And to me, that's where the sweet and the spicy go together so well. I'm full of food analogies today. But season 3 is primed for that. We've been building up the last 2 seasons into these character relationships and how our antagonists and protagonists are playing off of each other. And season 3, we knew we had a bullseye on for make sure that it made an impact and make sure, that when it hurts, it hurts real good. And we think we've delivered on that.
Now, Liam, Ashley, Marisha, would you agree with that assessment about sweetness and spice and the hurt being so good?
Heck yeah.
When you are in
Spice the hurt
pain,
being so nice.
when you are in pain, you are alive. So we just want you all to feel alive.
Yes, to
Yeah.
feel alive. There it is.
And
Well, I
jump
certainly
off the,
felt alive.
jump off the spicy food reference. We keep going back because it gives you that endorphin rush. You know what I mean? So I'd like to think season 3 does the same.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of endorphin rush and spice factor, something that was definitely teased all through the seasons thus far and in the intro, seems like things might be heating up a bit. A ship might be setting sail between a certain bird daddy and a certain druid. So what can you tease us about
Bird
that this
daddy.
season and where their heads are at?
I love it.
Boy, they try so hard. They try so hard. I think they'll push back at the horrors of the world just long enough to appreciate each other this season. How long it will last, how tenuous the world is out of their hands. We'll just appreciate the moments as they drop.
Yeah, they can certainly try, as Matt Mercer likes to say. We shall see. At the end of the day, too, it's so wild being outside of these characters, but obviously so intensely close to them. I just want them to be happy and just have some nice moments. And man, it's so Machiavellian sometimes, just slapping that out of their reach as we go through it in the writer's room.
Look, who doesn't love a good doomed lovers trope? And I, for one, am a big fan of horrors of the world. We'll definitely experience those this season if the intro's anything to be expected from. But Ashley, I want to talk about Pike real quick because I think right now, it's fair to say that she seems like the most well-adjusted member of Vox Machina. It's definitely grading on a curve here.
Yeah.
But will Pike continue to be this sort of light that guides their way this season, or what can we expect from her?
Oof. Yeah. Listen, I think as the cleric of the group, there is that expectation that you're the one who's supposed to have all of your shit together. And I think that's something that she probably wrestles with of like, well, it's my responsibility to take care of everybody and heal people in battle. And I think that's, she wrestles with her faith and belief in herself. And I think that's probably a continuous battle for her. I think that's something that she will constantly be trying to figure out, who she is and how much she cares about these people and how she can best be there for them and take care of them. And I think going to hell is a pretty scary and big step for her, but she knows that it needs to be done.
Yeah, and what better place to go to hell than with your friends by your side? And I definitely think it seems like
Hell yeah.
the group is going to hell in a handbasket this season. You mentioned continuous battles. You've got Thordak. You have other forces working their ill will and schemes on the group. Is there anything you can tease that we can expect there? I mean, they're in an uneasy alliance with Raishan, and I assume there's at least one evil door. So what can we look forward to from that aspect?
Damn doors.
Damn doors. I would say much like our RPG campaign, old villains will probably find their way back into the mix. Unless you are dead or departed, you are very much capable of coming back in and screwing things up. It's a complicated story that our characters weave. So, it's not just one force that they'll be trying to fight against. It's usually multifaceted and multi-front as well. So we're going to set up a few things in this season and maybe only pay off a couple of them.
Yeah.
Look, that's just leaving breadcrumbs for season 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Spicy crumbs, Dan. Stick with the announcement. Spicy.
Oh, sorry. Jalapeno chunks.
There we go.
Yeah.
Do you spice, Dan?
I do, much to my heartburn chagrin. I do.
Yeah. Same.
You spice.
Big same.
Well, something I want to talk about as well is something I always appreciate about this show and the source material is anyone who's played a tabletop RPG knows it's a special experience because it's not just one person telling a story, it's a communal, collaborative storytelling process. And it's just very cool to see the Legend of Vox Machina spring from that communal, collaborative storytelling. So I'm curious for you folks, as we stand on the precipice of this 3rd season, has there been something that's been the most gratifying or satisfying part of bringing this particular story to life and exploring it through the medium of animation?
I mean, it goes without saying, all of the iconic moments that we all share in our headcanon at the table, seeing them in front of you in brought to life by expert animation is just stunning and unreal that we're so lucky to get to see these very heartfelt and special moments to us as people be brought to life. I'll never get over that.
Yeah, same. I mean, it's the ultimate dream. I mean, when you sit down at the table with your friends and you're like, man, this would be so cool if like you could see this animated or like a live action, because we're realizing the ultimate dream that we've all had. And we all get to do it together.
And animated by Titmouse, no less.
And animated by Titmouse, no less.
What?
No spoilers. There's in episode 1 of season 3, there's a couple sequences where I audibly said, holy just because the framing of it was so cool, and people will experience that soon enough. But I'm very excited to see what else the season has in store for people. But going back to the source material as well, it's usually the player characters and exploring the multiverse of Mattness, Matt Mercer voicing all of these different characters. And with the show, you get to have all of these incredible actors voice some of these characters as well. Do you have a favorite or standout performance, maybe one that surprised you, where you brought someone in to voice a character that Matt originally portrayed that really sticks with you?
Oh man, I mean, I can certainly say that we were so grateful to work with Lance Reddick before his tragic passing. I mean, giving a voice to Thordak as the terror behind the Chroma Conclave is something that will shape the world for forever, and we'll be eternally grateful that he's there as we go back to it. I would also say that Allura and Kima from the Council of Tal'Dorei are 2 fan favorites that we have been very blessed to have Stephanie Beatrice and Indira Varma come in and just absolutely smash it. And I would be happy to tease that we get more time with them this season as well. So the guest cast coming in has been amazing. But what about you guys?
I certainly don't want to pick it. I'm not going to spoil anything in the season that's arriving, and I don't want to pick favorites because we've had so many brilliant guests. But I am eternally charmed by Indira as Allura by Soren. It's just the loveliest performance with such great colors, and she just knocks it out of the park every time.
I feel like I'm bouncing off of that because I was going to say Indira as well. I think when you get so used to a character being played by Matt for so many years, it's hard And it's scary to sort of have somebody else take the reins. And I feel like with Indira, the essence is there of Allura, and it just feels so spot on. Yeah, but everyone's been so wonderful.
I mean, they're all so good. I mean, jumping off of Ashley, and when you have Matt as your headcanon for these people, we were all incredibly precious with Gilmore and who was going to voice him, and Sunil Malhotra. Just there, I mean, there was no one else. Like, he absolutely nailed it. And yeah, you might see more of him too.
Exciting
I
stuff.
would also round it out with Cree Summer as Raishan. She's just absolutely fallen into that role upside down and backwards. And she has too much fun being that deliciously deceiving.
Look, if you want spice, we do have Matt as the spice merchant. So we've checked that box off as well. Folks, congratulations. I'm so excited for you. Can't wait for everyone else to see this season. And yeah, I'm just really excited. So congrats again.
Thank you.
You're the best, Dan.
You're the best.
Anyone who's played a tabletop RPG knows how immersive and cinematic they can be, but this show is also very cool because this is the product of a collaborative, emergent story you all told together. So now that you're standing on the precipice of season 3, what's been the most satisfying or gratifying part of this experience or this story to bring to life for you thus far? A real softball to start.
Yeah. Just kick it off easy.
The audience. I'll say finally being able to show this to an audience that would have been difficult to absorb into our main campaign for a variety of reasons. It's really nice to have people who can appreciate the story that we've been telling and enjoy it, who only have 22 minutes a week.
I'll say from my standpoint, aside from sitting with these people and getting to see these final episodes and relive these moments that long before just lived in our imaginations, is extremely dreamlike. Like, I would never have imagined getting to have that experience. But then on top of that, getting to collaborate with so many incredibly talented people throughout the process of bringing it to life, all the incredible writers and producers and animators and storyboard artists and texture artists and all these different wonderful people that came together to bring it to life and make it so much better than any of us could have ever hoped. That has been probably one of the most gratifying parts of it.
Yeah, it's such a surreal experience because when we first started this campaign, we were all in very different places in our careers. But we were all very often in a recording booth with a bunch of other actors. And now for it to come full circle and be in that booth with this group of people, and not only just recording characters that somebody else have written, but recording things that we created, is just it's unbelievable.
Has there been any, sort of going off of that point, has there been any part of this process, you folks got to sort of live and breathe these characters in this world for so long. Has any part of this process given you a deeper insight or appreciation into facets of the characters you didn't get to explore previously?
The basics of sometimes in the original campaign, we would make decisions because there was a roll of a dice that sort of decided for us. And now we get to go back and examine, what if we chose that choice instead of just random chance, or what was the emotion that led to that choice, whether or not it was a good outcome or a bad outcome. What was going through the character's mind that made that choice important, or that role important. And that's what we get to focus on more in the animated series. And it's been so cool to really examine. It's really fun to examine your character psychologically, because you end up examining yourself psychologically by accident.
Well, this is this is a perfect segue. Back in season 2, Scanlan experienced something that I would term a dark night of the whole. So I'm curious, is he still scheming for a Kremen, or is he experiencing a different kind of growth as we head into season 3?
Yes, he's got an emotional erection now.
Oh boy.
And but his daughter is out there. He wants a relationship with her. It's a real relationship, and he's never had one of those before. So I think he's entirely focused on on that, and seeing what that's like, and seeing if that's possible, and seeing if he has the capacity to have a real relationship like that. And I hope he does and isn't left emotionally blue balling.
But no spoilers. We'll find out soon enough.
Yes.
But speaking of relationships, Taliesin and Laura, I want to talk about your characters because they definitely tease something going on there in the recently released intro for season 3. It's definitely a dark intro, but it seems like that might be a perhaps glimmer of hope for certain people out there hoping their ship will set sail. What can you tease about your characters this season and where their heads are at?
Oh man. Both of them have different types of familial trauma. So it's in this season we get to see them kind of come to grips with that and find acceptance through their relationship with each other, overcoming those kind of past burdens.
I don't know what to add to that. That was so concise. That but hot.
Okay, that was the chili pepper on top we needed.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of spice, a perfect segue. We've already seen another addition to the multiverse of madness this season with a certain spice merchant that Scanlan may encounter. Now, Matt, I have to imagine part of the joy for you in this process is seeing all of these different characters that you played previously in the original campaign now brought to life in many instances by other incredible actors. Is there a singular performance or a character or actor that surprised you the most with their interpretation?
Oh man, surprised me the most? For me, I mean, Indira Varma as Lady Allura Vysoren is dear to my heart, and there's so many other characters out there that are intense and incredible. What the levels of subtlety and intensity that the great late Lance Reddick brought to Thordak for this last season, and especially this season, is just astronomical, and a huge honor being a longtime fan of his. Before, and being able to work with him before he passed, that seeing such an epic, terrifying entity brought to life like that has been incredible.
Yeah, I mean, every time you hear Lance Reddick's dulcet tones emerge from that beastly dragon, you just get chills up your spine. So very excited to see what he'll do this season and who else may appear, because that's half the fun, is trying to say, wait a minute, is that who I think it is? And then you look at the credits and yes, it was. It's exactly who you think it is. But I want to talk about a little bit about the season as a whole. Earlier this year, Travis spoke with Entertainment Weekly, and he said that season 3 is going to leave a mark. So to you, I would ask, why are you trying to hurt us with season 3?
Really, it's the only way we can all grow.
Each tear gives me an extra day of life.
I mean, we want to bond with our audience, and we want to find new audience to bond with. And what better bonding journey is there but trauma? Shared trauma.
It is the emotional glue that binds us all.
Yeah.
But something I'm excited about this season is, we're seeing Vox Machina forced into some uneasy alliances, specifically with Raishan. What can you tell us about that relationship and how the group is going to interact with her as we move forward into season 3?
Yeah, I think as they grow and mature as heroes and a team, they are all learning the lesson that in order to do good, sometimes you have to do bad, or at least come up really close to the edge. And some of Vox Machina isn't okay with that, and others are more pragmatic. And that's something that we haven't seen up to now with the group, divisions among them and arguments within the group. But it's important for them to figure out how to work as a team, both in good times and bad. And so we're giving them some bad times to test them.
Yeah, definitely a lot of strange bedfellow conversations.
I'm very excited to see how those play out. Now, I know a lot of folks out there are very excited as well about the Mighty Nein series, but I have a different question for you. I think I speak for all true fans out there, specifically of fans of Critical Role Campaign 1, Episode 12, DM Tips, when I ask, when will we see Vox Machina in animated form?
I was like, I know he's going to go there. I know he's going to go there, and I'm excited for this. I mean, I mean, one of the hindsight benefits of animating this all as an interpretation and adaptation of the original campaign is the hindsight of the expanded universe of Vex'ahlia that we could eventually allude to. So somewhere out there in existence, Vox Machina is waiting for its due. You hear that, Amazon?
Amazon, I really hope you do hear this. I'll send you a short list of actors that could portray Salty Pete, but folks, mostly I'm just so thrilled for you. Congratulations. Can't wait for everyone to see season 3. And yeah, that's all. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah.